Hi there, I'm Jacky Francis Walker. I'm the burnout expert. I'm a psychotherapist and coach. And I'm here today to share with you the 5 things you should be doing if you are experiencing work burnout. So my first tip is power pauses. What I mean by that is stopping completely for 30 seconds or a minute, or if you've got the luxury of it, 5 minutes, but letting your mind put everything down for that period of time. Not doing anything at all, not multitasking, just focusing on the present moment, or just letting your mind be still. Perhaps we can spend 30 seconds slowing our breathing, or going and getting a few breaths of fresh air. Simple things, but they can make a difference to refresh one's energy levels pretty quickly. Okay, so the second tip is to lower your expectations. I know we're all high achievers, we want to do the best job that we can, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're experiencing burnout, that's just going to burn you out even more. So instead of trying to do 120% or 150%, what happens if you try and do 80%, 85%, 90%? Give yourself a little bit of slack. Top tip number 3 is to introduce variety to how you use your brain. Many high achieving roles require us to use our executive functions pretty extensively and intensively throughout the working day. And by executive functions, I mean things like short-term memory, focus, concentration, taking in large amounts of information and processing them or analysing them, and then recasting them in some ways so that other people can get that information. That's a really intensive thing to do. So if you can punctuate your day with even just short interludes where you turn your brain to do something different. Tip number 4 is about connecting with nature. Now, I think we all know that being out in nature is a very calming and soothing thing for our minds. And there's plenty of research that shows that it's a good thing too. Particularly trees and water. Those are the 2 top things that really allow our brains to begin to step down and go into relaxation mode. The Japanese, by the way, even have the concept of forest bathing, which is where you go for a walk in the woods, but you use your attention with intention so that you're deliberately looking at what you can see, what you can hear, what you can smell, so that you are much more present with what you're doing. So final tip number 5, and that's about doing a simple creative task during the day. And it could just be using your phone to take a photograph, and to have the discipline, perhaps the intention of taking 1 photograph a day, which for you instills a feeling of beauty, or there's a sense of awe about what you're looking at, or in some way it brings you pleasure or is pleasing for you. And then you'll find that you'll be taking much more attention about what you're seeing. It's similar to forest bathing in its idea. It just takes it a little bit step further because you're proactive in interacting with your environment. And that means that the brain then isn't left to start whirring away to your next meeting, deadlines, and probably, again, not seeing what you're walking through. So those are my 5 top tips. Number 1 is power pauses. Number 2 is lower your expectations. Number 3 is to introduce variety into how you use your brain. Number 4, connect with nature. And number 5 is to do a simple creative task. I hope that you've enjoyed these tips, and I look forward to meeting up with you in some other way. Do read the article in ThriveGlobal and Authority magazine, in which I go into further details about this. Look out for my online program, Banish Burnout. I'm Jacky Francis Walker. burnout expert, psychotherapist, and coach.